There are more ways to store ammo than Carter has little liver pills. I'm not going to explain that societal reference. I'll let you look it up for yourself. But that means a lot of different ways. So let's you and I discuss what would work best for you. Welcome to the Armed Citizen channel. My name is Mark, and I do this video mentorship for all armed citizens, be they new or experienced. I talk about the things that I think no one else talks about. So please, like my videos, subscribe, and share them with people of all political persuasions. Let's get into the content. When it comes right down to it, there is really no bad way to store ammo unless it's in a wet environment or a place with wild temperature swings. That being said, here's what I do to maximize the length of time I can keep my ammunition viable. Before anything else happens, if you want to acquire a sizable inventory of ammunition, I recommend that you make ammo purchases a fixed line item of your budget. Don't just buy a box or two when you go to the range. I don't use the term stockpile thanks to the media's negative connotations of that word. We should budget monthly and budget enough so we purchase more than we use. And it doesn't have to be a lot. If you purchase a box a month more than you use, that's heading in the right direction. Speed does not concern me. I'm only care about progress. And before we get into any methodology, we have to ask ourselves, why do I need to do this, and how much is enough? Don't worry, I'm not going to go all tactical and end of the world prepper on you and tell you that you need 10,000 rounds for every firearm you have. No. A societal collapse will probably look a lot more like the movie The Book of Eli. Before anything else happens, if you want to acquire a sizable inventory of ammunition, I recommend that you make ammo purchases a fixed line item of your budget. Don't just buy a box or two when you go to the range. I don't use the term stockpile thanks to the media's negative connotations of that word. We should budget monthly and budget enough so we purchase more than we use. And it doesn't have to be a lot. If you purchase a box a month more than you use, that's heading in the right direction. Speed does not concern me. I'm only care about progress. And before we get into any methodology, we have to ask ourselves, why do I need to do this, and how much is enough? Don't worry, I'm not going to go all tactical and end of the world prepper on you and tell you that you need 10,000 rounds for every firearm you have. No. A societal collapse will probably look a lot more like the movie The Book of Eli.
You got a gun? Oh, shit, it ain't loaded. No, they never are. Ain't that right, old man?
Then it will look like Zombieland.
Thank God for rednecks. This is a really big truck, and these are really big guns.
Take your time.
I'm going to adapt a couple of steps from Dave Ramsey's financial advice. His step one is to save $1,000 in cash for a baby emergency fund. That's enough cash to take care of about 80% of the emergencies a family might have. Once you're out of debt, he suggests you compile enough cash for 3 to 6 months of household expenses, which is mortgage, food, utilities, and then maintenance, gas, and insurance on your vehicles. I suggest something similar. Do whatever you can to gather 200 rounds of each caliber you routinely practice with as soon as you can. Now, if you blow more than that in a month, you can up that. So we're looking for more than 1 month's worth of ammunition use. For most people, this will be 5.56, 7.62, 9mm, 45, and so on. You don't need 200 rounds of 6.5 Creedmoor or other hunting ammo unless you use that amount of ammo. The next step is determine how many rounds of ammo you consume annually. You could work off of monthly, however, you usually use more ammo in some months than in others. Better to get an average over a year than figuring off 1 month, which might be your leanest month. And you don't have to know this number right now. Having a general number now and then refining it later is perfectly acceptable and recommended. I want you to start this journey now and work out the exact destination later. Don't worry. Now that you're doing this, I know you will keep records. So once you have an idea of how many rounds in a year, then ask yourself, how many months do I want to be able to practice at that level without having to buy any ammo? The answer is up to you. Reasonable answers to this question are 3 months, 6 months, a year. The answer is really up to you. Once you have determined your inventory level and have built up to it, weathering the storm of peak prices and other supply chain disruptions of ammo is easy. You can keep right on training and wait until the prices come back down. And even if you've hit your inventory numbers, keep budgeting that excess cash for ammo above your expenditures, because you will, over time, build up a cash reserve up to the point where you can buy a pallet of ammo so you can get an amazing quantity discount and not break a sweat. You should always, no matter what, buy a box or two from your local gun store or range on or around payday when you have cash. That's how the gun stores stay in business. Movie theaters do not make their money off of the movies. They make it off of the concessions. Gun stores do not survive on gun purchases. They survive on selling ammo, accessories, and range time. Another nice thing about having that cash reserve just for ammo purchases is you can take advantage of a surprise sale of inexpensive bulk ammo. That happened to me not too long ago. I happened into a gun store while traveling home from a trouble call and ended up getting a 1,009mm cheap. Now that we know how we're going to do it and where we want to be with our ammunition inventory, let's talk about a flexible and expandable supply chain of your own. This works if you have 500 or 50,000 rounds in your inventory. The supply chain rule is called FIFO, or first in and first out. It's a very simple rule. Basically, when you load up to head out to the range, always reach for your oldest ammo first. I don't care if we're talking about your own hand loads or commercially made ammo. unless you're hand loading and trying out a new recipe, or you just bought a new brand of ammo and you want to see how well it works, go with your oldest stuff so it doesn't get stale, for lack of a better word. The only can that's not part of my rotation is this one. This was sealed from the factory like this. Sealed battle packs or cans like this, you don't have to worry about as much. Keep them in a temperature controlled environment and they'll be good probably for decades. So as long as the can or the seal are not compromised, and if I only get to grab one thing of ammo, this is what I'm grabbing. I agree with everyone else. Use the metal military style 50 and 30 caliber ammo cans for any storage that will last more than 4 to 6 months. The plastic cases have a flex to them which can compromise their ability to exclude moisture, and this is what ruins your ammo over time. Buy these cans new or inspect the seal and case integrity before purchasing any used cans. Always use a desiccant pack to absorb the moisture in the can, and the good news is you can recharge the desiccant just by baking them in the oven. I don't care what you use. You can get commercially made stuff like this through Amazon, or if you're like me, I get some of these on occasion because they come in the replacement parts that I use. If you really want to do it yourself, you can buy a jug of silica gel, and using your basic 12-cup basket coffee filters, you can make your own. This desiccant pack uses a color-changing gel bead so you know it's reaching its absorption limit, and it tells you right here how to recharge it. 3 hours at 250 Fahrenheit. I really hate interrupting myself mid-tirade, but I just wanted to put in a real quick reminder to please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it with all of your friends. That's how I grow this channel and get to more people. So, all right, back to myself. My exact method is to start with one can. Get more cans as you need more room. Label them as an ammo type and a serial number to tell them apart, such as Rifle 1, Rifle 2, Pistol 1, Pistol 2, and so on. I have rifle, pistol, shotgun, and 22 long rifle cans. You can do this for each caliber and type of ammo you wish to accumulate. I currently have 5 rifle cans. Those, one holds nothing but .308, one holds nothing but .556 ball, one holds M855 green tips, and so on. For my 9mm, if for some reason I were to have both 124 grain and 115 grain rounds in my inventory, they would each get their own can. I cannot recommend mixing them, but that's probably just the OCD in me. Now, if you have multiple calibers that are rare or small quantity, like a box of 32 ACP, and you only have a box or 2 of each, lump them all together in one can and call it odds and ends or something so you understand. We all have to start with one can unless we're wealthy and, we have the ability to buy ammo by the pallet. The whole purpose here is you move the ammo between boxes as little as possible. Let's talk about the actual process. I'm using empty plastic cans because they aren't heavy. All of my metal cans are weighing 40 pounds and more, and I don't want to sling them around. I keep 2 pieces of masking tape on each can. The first is status. The second is a date that reflects when I last recharged the desiccant pack. Now, I'm going to use status descriptors of active, loading, and full. Use whatever makes sense to you. So we're going to start with 1 can, and we're going to call it active. When you bring your new ammo home, you write the purchase date on the box of ammo, I will explain later, and put it in the can. That way you know out of all the boxes who's oldest. You put the new ammo in and you pull the old ammo out of this can until it is full. When your active can is full, you're going to get can number 2, and you're going to call it loading. Now, while you're doing this, all of your ammo is going to come out of your active, and all of the ammo is going to go into the loading. Once your active can is empty, it's going to become the new loading. And your loading will become the active. And the same rules continue to apply. You continue to add the new ammo into loading, and you take the ammo out of active. Now, if your loading becomes full before your active is emptied, you relabel loading as full. And you put that day's date on it that you labeled it full. You can now grab can number 3 and this becomes your new loading. And I understand this is going to be kind of confusing, but rewind this a couple of times. Basically, we got one that's going out, we got one that's coming in, and then this one is full. When this guy becomes empty, he's no longer active. Full becomes active. And then when this one's full, he becomes full, and we start loading everything into this one. And if we fill up this one before we start using this one as active, then we start up with a 4th can and keep going and going and going. The last thing I want to happen with you is when you open one of these cans and you find a bunch of bad ammunition. We prevent that by not only rotating our ammo, but periodically inspecting it as well. The desiccant packs can only run so long before they come saturated and stop absorbing moisture. Hopefully in that hermetically sealed box it is years, but these can turn into Schrodinger's cat real quick. You can set your own cycle. However, I pull and recharge all of my desiccant packs every 4 months. I do this to my entire ammo inventory on the same day. I'm sure it's going to get up to a weekend once I get enough. This way you can do it on an assembly line process and you know you didn't miss a can. I've already talked about the reactivation process for those packets. You throw them in your oven at a low heat for several hours, and that will bake all of the moisture out without actually melting the silica. While you're baking your desiccant, dump a can and visually inspect the can and the seal, and then you can inspect the ammo for any damage or corrosion. Then you dump it back in, and when the desiccant is ready, you throw it back in there. After the desiccant is done and cooled, you can throw it back in. Now, If the ammo is boxed, and we talked about putting it in boxes, and it's over 6 months old, it's okay that you can dump all of the ammo out of the boxes and let it be loose. There are some people who will tell you don't store ammo in the boxes in the first place, as the cardboard absorbs moisture and it can cause corrosion if left in contact with the ammo for too long. This is true to a point. If you can keep it in a box in an ammo can without a desiccant pack. Now, if you're wondering why I do not debox ammo unless I've had it over 6 months, here you go. In the early months of 2021, I and about 40 other people would start lining up outside my closest academy, starting at about 5:30 when it was cold. Line up outside the academy sports, so when the store opened at 10 a.m., we could descend on the morning ammo shipment like a pack of dogs on a three-legged cat. You bought what you could, as beggars cannot be choosers. Come a few months later, Winchester had a recall on some of their ammo. Because my ammo was still in their boxes, I found 4 to 5 of my boxes had those lot numbers. If I had immediately dumped everything loose into an ammo can, I would have had to either destroy the whole lot or worry about the off chance I'm going to get a boom instead of a bang when I pulled the trigger. Because I knew which was which, this problem did not befall me. If a recall does come out, it will be generally within that 6-month time frame. And here's an exception that's not really an exception. A 50 caliber ammo can, I put them over there already, holds about 1,000 rounds of 5.56 and about 1,500 of 9mm ammo. I recently made a bulk purchase of 1,000 rounds of 5.56, which came in 2 500 round boxes. Both boxes had the same lot number, so I immediately dumped all 1,000 rounds loose into a single can. I then tore the tab with the lot number off the boxes, wrote the purchase date on them, and put those tabs in with the loose rounds. So if a recall does come up for that lot number, I know that I'm under that lot number and I have the proof that those are from that lot number. I do have one more step. I use 30 caliber ammo cans by caliber that I keep marked as ready. Like ready 5.56, ready 308, ready 9mm, and so on. Because of the size difference, they're a lot lighter and if I know I'm going to have a big range day, I can top this can off and grab it and move out a lot easier than a 50 caliber. When I come home after a range trip, I top off my range bag and magazines from that ready can. And if I get low, I just dump from the active can down into the 30 cal can. In summary, unless you have factory sealed battle packs, rotate your ammo. If you're paranoid enough, rotate the sealed stuff too. Use the oldest ammo first so your ammo doesn't get too old. Keep the factory box lot for numbers, or keep the factory box for the lot numbers if you immediately dump the ammo loose into the ammo can. Always keep one lot in one can. Or keep it in the box for 6 months. Mark the purchase date on the box so you know when it's okay to dump it loose. Recharge your desiccant packs about every 4 months. 6 months is fine as well. This also gives you a chance to inspect your ammo and can at the same time to make sure everything's okay. Of course, always keep your ammo in a dry and temperature controlled environment. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. Just one last request that you like and subscribe and share with your friends, and send me some feedback on the way so I know where to go and what I might have messed up. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful day.